Drew.
Everyone. Hello, Paul from the UK.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, Amira from Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia.
I see.
Hi, Drew.
Who else have we got? Gabriel from Singapore.
Yes, but I'm afraid I have to leave very soon.
No problem, Gabriel. I saw your message. Yeah. Thank you. Who else have we got? Roger Wong from Singapore.
No, Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Oh, close enough. Yeah. Close enough.
We've got Kaylee.
Yes, there.
Hello, Kaylee.
Kaylee, let's say from Shanghai.
From Shanghai.
Yep.
Who else? I'm just making sure everyone's online before we officially begin. I am recording this, everyone, so anyone's missed it or there's tech problems, you can play it back. Amira from Malaysia.
Malaysia. Yes. Hi.
Hello. And Kelly from UK.
Yeah. Hi.
And Ankit from India.
Hello. Namaste.
Thank you, Ankit.
Namaste.
And I'm just going in order of the Zoom. I've already said hello to Paul, but hello again, Paul from the UK. And Oksana.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I cannot open my video today.
Welcome, everybody. Okay. So there's a few people that couldn't make it because they're busy. It is a Saturday evening for some people or a Saturday morning for others. So apologies. I will now commence the program. Today is, if you could just mute, or I mute everybody.
Sure.
Thank you. Ask to mute. I'll just mute away. Everyone's muted now, I believe. Thank you very much. So today is largely nothing to do with sports nutrition, okay? And the reason this session is extremely important is mainly for you guys to get to know each other. We've had many classes, online classes, and prior to COVID, a lot of offline classes everywhere in the world. And a big component is in life, as I believe there's some business owners on here, is it's who you know, not what you know. And in sports nutrition, if you're looking to grow your career in sports nutrition, a big part of that is getting to know people. And I think a point of difference, what we do at the GPNi, the Global Performance Nutrition Institute, is not only you're getting to know other students, but you're getting to know other students literally throughout the world. As I introduced people, and I think there's a few people that are having trouble with their internet. For example, this gentleman, he's just trying to call. He's from Morocco, Mosul, and there's another guy from Greece. He doesn't know to just accept the call. So guys, here's your opportunity to network. Here's your opportunity to pitch who you are, you know, and really also, if you haven't had presentation skills, this is a good opportunity to hone and practice and rehearse your presentation skills, because in today's world, no matter what your career is, but especially in sports nutrition, there's a big opportunity now doing things in the online space, obviously due to COVID-19. So, you know, it's a good chance to practice. Okay, cool. All right. Now I'm going to introduce firstly the course rundown. Now, for some of you, you've already done, can you see all that, guys? Okay. So this is just the course rundown. Now, some of you have the people are trying to chime into me, but they just need to join in the group. They're trying to ring me personally. This is the course rundown. Some of you have been studying for a while. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback of where you are with the on-demand content. some of you have already finished. I know Ankit, for example. To be honest, I haven't had anyone whip through things as diligently as Ankit. I was very impressed. He went through all of the on-demand content. I forget, but in something like less than a month, which I don't think we've ever had someone do that before, which is incredible. Some of you have just begun, and some of you do need to begin. I'm not mentioning names, but you know, you do need to begin. The on-demand content is really going through all of the foundation, all of the grassroots, everything you need to pass the exam is in that on-demand content, and a lot more. I mean, the on-demand content with the GPNi course goes well and truly above what you will need to pass for the SNS exam, but everything is in there. The live components, which is what this is about testing your knowledge in a presentation format and really ensuring that you have application of knowledge, not just you can remember things to pass an exam. Okay, what we want to do with the GPNi is have people who really authentically understand things and can present things, whether it's online or with clients, or really ensure that they understand the content. Okay, so as we as you also know, the other lecturers, which will be beginning next Saturday, and then again the following Saturday, is Dr. Jose Antonio, the CEO and co-founder of the ISSN, the International Society of Sports Nutrition. He'll be coming on. He's an extremely busy gentleman. It was not easy to get him. We've done many SNS certifications. This is actually the first certification that he's been one of the live lecturers. So we're very honored and very pleased that he could join us, but he is very busy. So if you have questions for Dr. Jose, please write them down. This could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to ask those tricky questions that you've always wanted to know. And he's certainly one of the very best in the world to do this. Okay. So please prepare your questions. This is a great opportunity, and that's next Saturday. He will be on for an hour. Predominantly, it's going to be Q&A. I think for Dr. Jose, I mean, we could get him to go through presentations and PowerPoint things, but I think the best value with Dr. Jose is just open it up and you guys fire away. And then following that will be Dr. Roger Adams. We've worked with Dr. Roger Adams now for 4 years. A very dear friend of ours, an amazing guy, and you've probably all met him on the on-demand content. And that will be a partial presentation, as well as some questions, and also to go through some examples on the presentation homework that you guys needed to do as well. Okay, so this is the onboarding session, 1 hour. So we'll try to stop in about 50 minutes. And that's the session 2 and session 3. And you should have all received this PDF with the time zones. Again, we have people from all over the world, so please don't get too confused with the time zones. It can be a little bit confusing, especially for me, I can tell you. I have made a mistake or two with the time zones because it's tricky, I can tell you. If you don't know, and we do a lot of business everywhere in the world, but Time Scroller app is amazing. It's free. It's called Time Scroller. It's amazing. So that has helped me enormously for years, but especially in this one. So please keep in tune with that. And the very last session, guys, session 3 is Sunday, March. So it's a Sunday. It was the only time I could get Dr. Roger, who is also extremely busy. A lot of our PhD lecturers are very busy, so we need to often work with their schedule. And this is going to be a longer session, guys. You really need to prepare for it. I would suggest you prepare today, Monday. It's your presentation, and this is not the 3 to 5 minute presentation of who you are. This is a presentation on a case study for an athlete involving their sports nutrition strategy. Okay. Now, if you haven't watched module 8 on the on-demand content, that's where you're going to get the information of what to prepare, but we're also going to present and explain more on Saturday, the 19th of February with Dr. Roger Adams. And here you can ask some questions live to him to double check things. But I strongly suggest you start your presentation, if you haven't already, on Monday this week. Okay, and that's for 3 hours. Everybody is required to present. I would prefer everybody to prepare something for a live session. If people happen to be busy, yes, you will need to record it and send it to us, but it is a requirement to pass, and that is a 75% or above to pass that section of the certification. Okay, and here's the time zones below. And as you know, we're going through the self-introduction. I believe everyone's prepared an amazing PowerPoint presentation. So I look forward to going through all that with everybody. Okay, and of course, materials, you know, etc., etc. Okay, and this is a double certification. So the exam is the SNS, and the presentations is the Advanced Sports Nutrition Certificate. Okay, so this is where you need to prepare both. The exam will be open. I believe I wrote it. No, it's not in this section, but I've written it before. But basically, the exam will be immediately after March 6th. So from Monday, March 7th, for 8 days afterwards, the exam will be available online. We will send you instructions of how to do that. And there is 100 multiple choice questions. You need to receive 75% or above to pass. Now, you will only have really one chance to pass the exam the first time round. If you do fail the exam, you will be able to sit it again for free and reschedule with us, but we would obviously prefer you study. And if you do study, I've almost finished the initial component, which is basically just introducing the schedule for the live classes and the exam itself. Now, any questions on the live schedule, the exam itself?
No, I didn't hear any of it, so.
Okay, sorry, was this Martin?
It is, yes, Martin.
Oh, g'day, Martin. Nice to meet you from the UK also.
Hi.
Okay, well, I've recorded the first, I think you missed 20 minutes or so. I've recorded that and you can watch it again. But basically, I went through the schedule that's on the PDF. Also, the exam itself. The exam itself will be available online from March 7th, Monday, March 7th, until 8 days later. On Tuesday, the following Tuesday, you'll be able to sit the exam, and it's 100 multiple choice questions. You need 75% or above to pass the exam. If you fail the exam, you'll be able to sit it again one more time for free, and you'll need to reschedule with us. If there's a third time to fail, which is very rare, but if there is a third time, there'll be a $50 charge. Honestly, it's not really to cover our costs, although there is some administration costs in handling resits. It's largely as a stick to make sure you study, because if you do study, guys, you should pass the exam. The SNS exam is certainly more difficult than many exams out there, more so than precision nutrition and some other online education companies in sports nutrition. It's certainly high level, but it's not CISSN. I passed the CISSN exam last year myself, and that's another level. That's very, very difficult. So again, if you do study, if you do go through the notes, if you do go through the practice exams, which are the test exams within the SNS on-demand modules. After every module, you'll have a small test. If you go through them and you pass them, then you should pass the exam. Hello, Joni, also from Belgium. Oh, I've got you on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, it seems everything is working on the app on my phone, but nothing is working on my MacBook. So I have the presentation on my MacBook, so it will be a little difficult. It's strange. I have never worked with Zoom on the app, but it's not working.
I have
on
the
my
same
MacBook.
thing if it helps.
Okay.
You. So, and what I have to do is actually then download the further app. So when you get it on your desktop, you have to actually download an app. So I don't know why. So if you download and actually go and download the Zoom app, and then it'll automatically in the same sign-in bring all the things that's on your phone onto your MacBook. Don't know why, but I have the same thing.
So do I have to? Yeah.
If you click on Zoom Meet, and it'll come up with an app, and then you have to download that app, and then it's just a different viewing onto your screen. But it links to the same Meet and chat that you get on your phone.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul. Very informative.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. Also, if you're first time using Zoom for some, I recently am living on Zoom, and I'm sure some other people are living on Zoom, but make sure you give your computer permissions to share screens. You have to go, when you first use Zoom, you have to go through a series of permissions so your computer allows access to files. So that could be a problem you may be facing as well. Okie dokie. So the next component on today's call is the Student Center. I'm going to do another quick screen share now. Now you should already know the Student Center. If you don't, it means you haven't started the course yet. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is, I need to log in. This is a security capture to make sure we don't get robots signing in. Okay, so this is my profile, and here is the qualifications. I've been lazy and I haven't updated here, but when you have passed, you'll have your certifications, all your different certifications. If you do number of certifications with us, if you did SNS, CISSN, our endurance and marathon certification, all of the PDF certifications will be listed here, and you can also download them, and they'll always be in your Student Center. Here is file archives. You can upload different files here if you needed to have things available to you that are related to your sports nutrition coaching. It's just a small cloud service. Okay, and this is PowerPoint presentations, Excels. So for example, in the Excel here, this is templates from previous students. This is very helpful to you guys, especially with the presentation coming up. You can download some templates here in your Student Center of previous students that have done the presentation and the Excel format that they've used. Okay. Here, this is Ask the Experts. And here, if you wanted to, for example, ask a very high level, this is all part of the membership and being a certified nutritionist. If you wanted to double check with an expert, you can write in here and it will go into a back-end server. Within around 72 hours, will get you back an answer from a PhD expert. Here,
I'm sorry, Mr. Campbell.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, may I ask about the questions to the experts? Will this be only during the duration of the course or even after this?
No, you can ask questions after the course as long as they're relevant questions to sports nutrition and obviously within reason. But yes, after the course, throughout the year, we'll get back answers in relation to things. Again, as long as they're within reason, they're not entire essays of questions. But if they're, you're just double checking some facts and things like that, you can come on here into the Ask the Expert section. This goes to a secure server and we'll get back an answer, within 72 hours or so, an answer from a PhD expert.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. That was Stelios, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, welcome from Greece. Very nice to meet you. Have you got your camera on
Nice
there
to
so we
meet
can all see you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a problem with my camera and I will not be able also to provide you with my presentation because there seems to be a Wi-Fi problem. I have my presentation in front of me, but I cannot access Wi-Fi connection through my PC, only through my mobile phone.
Okay.
So I will send my PPT in the discussion below, and I will explain everything to you shortly.
Sure. Thank you, Stelios. Okay. And
Nice
last but not least, in the Student Center is your profile. Okay, guys. And this is up here. If you can see where my photo is, for example, this is where you can update your photo, which I strongly suggest you do so. The reason being, I'll show, actually, I can show you in this screen share. Please let me know if you do see this. Can you see the next screen? Okay, so the reason being, and some people, as you can see, have not updated their profile photos. Some people have. The reason being, guys, this is part of your resume. This is part of your qualification. This is to prove, because we've had more than once, for example, students creating with Photoshop the certificate, the piece of paper, and putting their name on it, right? Unfortunately, that happens, but it absolutely cannot happen with the system we've built here. The reason being is, as an example, here's James Thompson from the United States. I'm gonna have to move the zoom because I can't see. Can you see that QR code?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that QR code is linked to the certificate that you get from us. Okay. So when you get the certificate, whether it's the printed out copy or the downloaded copy, there's a QR code. You scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to your profile. Your profile is your qualification. So I suggest you update your photo. I also suggest you fill in the details here to make it as accurate as possible. James Thompson hasn't yet filled here, but you can do a self-introduction. This is like a resume. This is your bio. This is your sports nutrition qualification. James Thompson has SNC, SNS, and AS. He's got a few qualifications. He's actually just signed up also for the ISSN Level-1 Masters a few weeks ago as well. So if he passes that, he'll have his further qualifications. So let me go back. So this is where you update your photo, your name, your self-introduction, etc. And here, your payments, some of you went through the automated sign up, some of you were manual. If it was an automated sign up, that will show there. Okay, again, highly suggest you update your profile with your photo, etc. You can use that for your own marketing, for your own sports nutrition or personal training, or whatever you're doing your own marketing. Use this website and use your profile to do so, to show you're truly qualified and you're not just have a piece of paper that doesn't have any value. Okay, any questions? Okay. I will briefly go into the course and then I'll go on to the next section. So here are the courses that I've signed up for per se. We have other courses and they'll be listed here in the Student Center. Okay, for those that haven't yet begun, who have been procrastinating, I highly suggest you begin and try to catch up with the rest of the class. Try to catch up to Ankit, who's already finished all 8 modules, or others that have almost finished. Please try to catch up, because it's going to make your live sessions far more valuable, because you'll have questions to ask. You'll also be more knowledgeable in the discussion sections. Also, your presentation, which is going to be in 3 weeks from today, your presentation is going to be richer because you've already gone through the content. Okay, and as I was explaining earlier, within each module there are tests, so you cannot go to the next module. I'll go back. You cannot go to module 2 until you've gone through and passed the test in module 1, and module 2 you can't go through into module 3 until you've passed the test of module 2. Okay, so these little mini tests in here are to help prepare you for the exam and to ensure that you understand each module before moving on. Okay, it would be great that you can all, if possible, can try to finish all 8 modules in the next 1 or 2 weeks. It would be great. If you don't, no stress. You can go at your own pace. It's purely up to you. But as far as education goes, I highly suggest to get the maximum out of this course, the maximum retention of knowledge, try to go through things and absorb things as much as possible. If you procrastinate, you don't build momentum. Momentum works, I believe, in everything in life, whether you're building a business or doing education. You build the momentum, it gets easier. Things stay in the mind much better. If you procrastinate, let it sit on the back burner, have every excuse under the sun why you can't do it today, things will prolong and you may not get the same value. But if you are busy, I understand, I'm very busy. You can go at your own pace. You can finish this certification in 1 year, 2 years. It's purely up to you, but I do suggest fast tracking as much as possible. Last but not least, for those that haven't yet started or are a little confused, everyone should have the printed out course books, but you can look at the digital format here as well. This is a PDF or PPT reader, and you can read on your computer or your device the presentation or the course book directly on your computer and go through each section. Okay, guys? So that's quite handy to have on your computer, but you do have the course booklets. Now, the course video, if you haven't watched them already, this took a lot of effort to design this way, but there are many different views. So there's the iPad view, which is in the screen. There's the full screen view, if you can go full screen. And last but not least, there's the pop-out view, which goes everywhere. And the reason we've created it like this is if you want to search something else on the other side of, you want to go to another screen on your computer, that will always be on your screen. In addition, if you wanted to, which is pretty cool, read the PowerPoint presentation and at the same time, here's the presentation, for example, and at the same time watch, you can do that as well. For some reason it's on mute. Okay. Any questions so far about the Student Center?
Mr. Campbell, may I ask something?
Go ahead.
So I noticed that the same course book, the printed version have been sent, is the same one indicated in the ISSN official page for the more advanced certification. Is that correct, or did I understand something wrong?
You mean the CISSN Level 2?
Yes, exactly.
You mean the course book is the same? Is that what you said?
Yes. Because I was preparing, as I told you before through email, I was preparing for the more advanced level.
CISSN.
And,
Yes.
Yes. And in the official website of ISSN, it's indicated that the course book for the more advanced, the CISSN, is the same as this one, the SNS.
No, a little bit confusing. No, not at all. No, what the ISSN has offered for the last 19 years is a self-study exam. Okay, and what they have is really just what's called study guide. Okay, and their study guide is very basic. It just has a series of practice exams, practice tests, and it's for SNS and CISSN together. We provide that as a printout to you guys as well. So you should have received those files, but again, it's just the study guide. The course